funeral of the late veteran sport broadcaster Dumile Mateza will be getting underway in just a few minutes at the Bryanston Methodist Church here in Johannesburg. And I've got my colleague Khotso Sello, who is there at the venue and will be taking us through the proceedings throughout the day. Khotso, I suppose with just about 10 minutes to go to the ceremony there, the guests have started arriving.
No, the guests have started trickling in, and it's a really somber mood, Benjamin. As we all know, Dumile Mateza was a huge part of our sporting industry. And I'm now joined by somebody who worked very closely with Dumile Mateza and Paul Molefe. Paul, a really sad day for sport.
Indeed, indeed. You know, Dumile was a gallant, a perfectionist. And yet, you know, so many unsung heroes like Dumile Mateza, you know, they are never actually acknowledged in the manner they should be. But nevertheless, I must say I was humbled in the manner 405 has given this great giant who has actually departed, you know, such expose. And, you know, one thing significant that I can say, Khotso, to the friends, you know, those who have departed, like the Uncle Dan Sitedi, you know, the Silas Time, you know, the Sibongile Sokulu, all these people, you know, they actually honored Dumile. They knew to say he was like a pendulum, that when you do the right, he will compliment. If you don't do the right, again, he will criticize you. And one thing that stands out this morning, I want to say to the friends and a retired friend who has worked so closely with him. We have traveled so many, you know, years with him. I can leave them with a simple Proverbs, you know, Scripture 23:21. It simply says, her children rises up and say she's blessed. Her husband too praises her. And he says, all women are noble, but you, Mrs. Mateza, you are the best. And at this point in time, I want to say, Dumile was like a palm tree. You know, a palm tree, Khotso, the more it ages, the more it blossoms. And the more you get wisdom from that palm tree. So Dumile was like a palm tree to all of us. You know, when you witness some of the storms you see from the Americas, you think when you look at some of the palm trees that they have fallen, they'll never rise. But within a few days, those palm trees, they emerge again as a solid palm. So Dumile was like one of those palm trees where you get integrity, where you'll get obedience, where you'll get respect, where you'll get professionalism. And he's one of those that we say today, in your final home going, fare thee well, Dumile. And it is a pity he was on the verge, Khotso, of writing a book. Because he has seen so many things. You know, now that you have actually been linked by another profound sport anchor that I respect from 405, here's a nice anecdote. You know, we were doing an interview at Sun City in golf. Trevor Quirk, who has been there for many years, wanted to interview Sevi Ballesteros. And he made a mistake, Trevor, by saying, "Good morning, Mr. Ballesteros." And Ballesteros says, "I'm not going to grant you an interview until you pronounce my surname perfectly." And Dumile was just near Trevor. He came in and he said, "Good morning, Severiano Ballesteros." And Sevi smiled. And I was in the OB van. You know how it is. And Scott Seward said, Dumile must do the interview with the Trevor because he knows more. And let me tell you, you know what happened? After that interview, Severiano Ballesteros invited Dumile for dinner. And we managed to have other more international interviews. So that was the caliber of a person we were blessed with.
He's somebody you worked with very closely. And those who don't know, you guys used to dub him the walking encyclopedia. Tell us why.
Indeed, because, you know, he was ahead of us. He was good in pronunciation of words. He was good on, researching. I think he was a researcher par excellence, Dumi. There was one guy that you would never even stand of debating. If he tells you about an information, you must know it's authentic, and he has actually gone even deeper. When he speaks about Khotso, he doesn't speak about Khotso only because of what you see on the Google, but he will tell you what is the best breakfast that can actually make Khotso to be delighted for the entire day. So really, these are the people, when the late Vuyombulu left this universe, I was devastated. And when Dumi left this universe too, I was devastated. It is unfortunate because already Ntate Malebo Phache was on the verge of creating something for him. And you cannot undermine experience, Khotso. Dumi, when we saw him, we knew that his tongue would uplift us. His tongue was not a destroyer. His tongue was the one that even if we were demotivated, you'll be motivated. Dumi has actually, played a part in his life. As I said, that, Methuselah in the Bible, he lived for 969 years. And yet what he did, he slept. He actually didn't work. And that's all he did. But with Dumi, it opens our eyes that we should never measure a man because of the number of years they actually spend in this universe. But it is the deeds that you live in this universe that creates a legacy for you. And in these words, I want to say, fare thee well, Dumile Mateza.
Well, a heartfelt send-off for Pratumi from one of his closest friends, Ntate Paul Molefe, feeling very passionate and feeling like a void has been left in the sports fraternity.
All right, indeed, Khotso, heartfelt there from Paul Molefe. We'll be keeping in touch with you throughout the morning as the funeral proceedings go on. Khotso Sello joining us from the Bryanston Methodist Church. There you'll remember Dumile Mateza passed away last week after a long battle with colon cancer.